Coming up on Double Tech Sports Talk, it is our NFL preview show. So me and Darren will preview some key headlines from the NFL. Also, we'll update you on the latest headlines that includes Kyrie Irving and John Wall. Stay tuned because Double Tech Sports Talk is next. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Don't Take Sports Talk, NFL Preview Edition. Welcome to the podcast. I'm Darrell Watts on the opposite side. Say hello to Darrell Watts, everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Doing all right?
Oh, yeah.
All right. All right, man. We got some work to do. Got some topics to discuss. You ready to rock and roll on this one?
Let's hit it.
All right, man. Let's do this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. First up on our topic of debate, the New England Patriots. Now, they're Super Bowl champions, and they head into the 2017-2018 year as the top dogs. Can they repeat? If not, of course, who can defeat the New England Patriots? Darren, what's your thoughts?
I do not think that New England's going to repeat again. I actually believe that the Kansas City Chiefs have a chance of beating them, which they play in their opening week in the NFL. And then they got the Saints. I believe they got a possibility in beating them. The Falcons, the Raiders, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Them are my considerable options on the schedule that could possibly beat New England. I look at the Falcons as a team that, went in there and now they figured them out. And now that Kyle Shanahan's gone, ain't he? Didn't accept the head coaching job.
Yeah, that's where.
So now that he's gone and hopefully the new offensive coordinator can really think this time, I believe that the Falcons can get their revenge against New England, although it's not in the Super Bowl, but I believe they can get their revenge. So the Falcons is the bigger one on this list than anybody else.
And you know what? Actually, and I pretty much agree with you with the teams that can beat the Patriots. And I also agree with you that they will not repeat. I had some feeling that something along the lines of the beginning of the season towards the middle, close to the second half of the season, New England is not going to be that much of a feely type of team. That's just me and my personal opinion. Now, New England do have competition in the East. Of course, the Dolphins and all of them, but they'll probably get the title again, but I don't see them repeating. Point blank.
Agreed.
Super Bowl champions, New England Patriots, everybody. Oh, excuse me. Sorry about that. I should have told you to hold on that one, but hey, who cares?
I see.
All right. Next up on the docket, the New Orleans Saints. Are they playoff bound? The New Orleans Saints had an up and down season last year. Are they playoff bound to the addition of Adrian Peterson? Darren, what's your thoughts on this?
Wild card. So, yes. Now, the problem is that I have with New Orleans right now is their defense right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's my little bit of difficulty, but I believe they can get into the wild card. I believe that their offense is going to be hot fire because Drew Brees will be able to stand tall in the pocket and be able to pass the football without having any issues as long as the offensive line can hold up. And Adrian Peterson can run pretty decently as long as, again, the offensive line can get those holes for him and Adrian Peterson can do the rest. All he needs to do is get past the line of scrimmage. He can do everything else by himself. So their offense is not their main issue on this behalf. And in fact, it will only make them better. The problem is their defense is to be able to hold the game down when they need to.
Absolutely. But in this case, I agree with you. but I have a problem with this also. The only way that I see that New Orleans can be the wild card team, which I agree also that they will probably be a wild card team. The only problem I have with this is that will Adrian Peterson be healthy throughout the season? You know, if the Saints could keep Adrian Peterson healthy throughout the whole entire season, they have a wild card. But if he gets hurt and miss critical key games, then it'll downfall.
Like the game against New England. That would be a critical game.
Exactly. Or another key game against their rivals in a playoff scenario. So, you know, it's just a matter of how they could be able to keep Adrian Peterson healthy if they want to be able to get to the wild card. They got a chance. They just got to keep Peterson healthy. All right.
I agree.
Yep. New Orleans Saints. All right, next up on the docket, surprising teams of 2017-2018 NFL year. Last season's Off-season changes for 32 teams in the NFL. Who would be the surprising team this year? Jared, this is going to be very interesting. What's your thoughts on this one?
I hope that you did not pick the same team I did, but I think a feeling we did.
I think we did too.
The surprising team for me this year is going to point towards the Jacksonville Jaguars defense.
Well, for the first time, it didn't.
Oh, good. And the reason why I picked Jacksonville is because the additional Tom Coughlin to be able to come in and fix that team up, and then he signing some people on defense, trying to get that defense to hold these offensive teams down because he knows that their offense can't score like how they need to. So that's going to be a surprising team of the year for me for this year. It's probably going to most likely be Jacksonville.
Okay, that's good because we did not pick the same team, but we did stay in the AFC South.
Okay.
I got the Indianapolis Colts. The reason why I say that, the only reason why I say that is because Brian Grigson is gone. Chris Ballard has stepped in and made some key moves.
Oh, my gosh.
And which some I do question about. I do question about some of the moves that he has made. But at the same time, I feel that the Colts is going to get a wild card spot, but not the AFC South title. That is out of the question.
I hate you.
Why, you agree?
I agree with you, and that's the whole issue with this whole ordeal. It's not even so much about the question. It's about how we go along into the podcast, and I'm just going to be repeating the same thing you just said. Hate having your brain sometimes. Not give a walk. Hate that.
Yeah, I think the Indianapolis Colts is going to be the surprising team this year. They have actually made some changes.
Not ruling that out.
Yeah. And Jacksonville is a good one too. So that's going to be a big thing. Surprising teams in the NFL. Okay. Teams that made the playoffs last year, who won't make it this year. Last season's playoff picture was very promising. Of the teams who made the playoffs last year, who would be the upset alert and not make the playoffs? Darren, what's your thoughts?
The Houston Texans. Flat out. I think they got lucky last year because the AFC South was not the greatest division in the NFL anyway. I think the Houston Texans got lucky considering with injuries and things like that. And Jacksonville and Tennessee are in the process of a rebuild. And then Andrew Luck getting injured and Grissom making some very bad choices on that end. This year, of course, like I said in the previous conversation, what's his name? Tom Coughlin adding on to the team and, stacking up on defense. That's going to be even bigger issue. So for Houston. So I don't think Houston is going to be that team to make it to the playoffs this year.
I got the Detroit Lions.
No kidding. They actually did good in the free agency period.
They did. They did real good. But the NFC is the NBA's Western Conference. You cannot, with these talented teams that they have on their hands, they had snatched the last seed on the last game of the year. Okay? this is going to be a whole different scenario compared to last year. You got the Giants, you got the Falcons, the Cowboys, the Packers, and the Seahawks. I would not be surprised if Tampa Bay snuck in this year. I am really looking to them to actually take a wild card this year. That right there tells me that Detroit, if you have to decide on the last game of the season, something is not right with your division. Something's not right with your division at all. And it was between who? Green Bay and Detroit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever won got the 4th seed. Whoever lost got the 6th seed.
Yeah. So either way, it was a win-win for both Detroit and Green Bay. But the only difference was in the win-win was that one of them was able to get home field advantage for the whatever wild card, or if they actually moved on to the division.
Right.
But other than that, Detroit Lions, they're not going, not this year.
Interesting.
So, off-season changes for the playoff picture from last year. All right, next up on the docket, believe in the Brandon Marshall and OBJ hype. Brandon Marshall has signed with the New York Giants. Can we believe in the hype of him and Odell Beckham Jr.? Darren, what's your thoughts on this?
No, I don't. As of now, I am not a fan of this because they are both stars. Okay. They are the number one wide receiver for, their prospective teams as of last season. So being that, depending on the Giants situation and how they go in the first couple of games of the season, it could be a personality clash. Who knows? Mm-hmm. I am not a fan of this until I can actually see who is the more humbler guy. If it's not both of them, at least one of them. I'm not really a big fan of this right now. That could change, but as of right now, not a fan of it.
Yeah, neither am I. It's not, a big of a hype to me. But with Brandon Marshall, he will bring a lot of hype to the table for the Giants.
Their offensive fire. Mm-hmm.
Yes. The Giants don't have a lot of tall receivers.
It's very true.
I think their last tallest receiver that I have known to date was probably Plaxico Burress. Probably. From last to date, for what I've known. And Brandon Marshall, and like I said, he's going to bring a lot of height, and he's going to bring a lot of advantages to the Giants that Odell Beckham couldn't. Now, what Odell Beckham Jr. can bring to the table, which he has been doing, is speed. Brandon Marshall don't have that. So it's not so
need
much
Brandon Marshall more if it's a third down situation.
Yes, more something like that. And I think at this point that Brandon Marshall is going to need more catches this season versus Odell Beckham Jr. because the fact that Odell Beckham has already shown his shining stars on the team. Brandon Marshall's need more catches to Odell Beckham Jr. Point blank period. I don't believe in the hype.
Me.
It's just a big addition. That's
right.
Just how I see that.
Exactly. Yep.
Brandon Marshall and OBJ, ladies and gentlemen. All right, ladies and gentlemen, up next on the docket, Marshawn Lynch and David Carr. With Marshawn Lynch coming out of retirement to join the Raiders, and David Carr and his contract extension, what can we expect from both of these gentlemen, if possible? Darren, your thoughts?
Simple, basic, to the point. For Marshawn Lynch, I expect the same thing that I expected out of him when he was playing football, to be the beast that he is. Plain and simple. David Carr, a little bit more different with David Carr, considering now that he has a much more better running back behind him. I expect him to continue off where he was before he got injured. I expect him to really continue to pass the football efficiently. The offensive line may have, had some miscues throughout the season. They only allowed 18 sacks last year. So that kind of, really improved their ability to be able to protect David Carr, even though he got injured towards the end of the season, which really hurt Oakland's chances to go to the Super Bowl or at least go to the championship game. But I expect David Carr to still continue to be able to pass the ball very much more efficiently, because now they got Marshawn Lynch. They can bite off of him anytime, and they can be able to get the ball down the field a lot more quicker. So I expect David Carr to have almost like an MVP caliber season up there with all other great quarterbacks.
All right, with beast mode there, I agree. I expect him to be the beast that he is. I expect him to get the football on third downs also. With David Carr, the only thing that I really would like to see him do more, because he got hurt, I would like to see him scramble out of the pocket and extend plays.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because David Carr has the ability to run and throw.
Mm-hmm.
If he wanted to run, he can. But I really just expect him just to get out of the pocket, extend the play, and make a big play out of from something, out of nothing to something, So that's what I expect from these two gentlemen too. So very enough to be said.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right, Marshawn Lynch and David Carr. All right, to wrap up this edition of the NFL preview, expectations for the Indianapolis Colts this year. The Colts did not make the playoffs this past season, and they had an unpredictable, inconsistent, expired the next day season. What can we expect from the Colts this year? Darrell, what's your thoughts?
Ryan Grissom being gone, check. Accomplished achievement right there. Pagano stayed, check. Another accomplished goal done. Chris Ballard as a good replacement for Ryan Grissom, check. Another good replacement that's been accomplished. Now, did they make some good adjustments behind that? Although NFL expert gave them a C on their free agency, I give the Colts at least a B for the ability to push forward to stack up on defense. Check. With this, I expect the Colts to be a strong defensive team this year. The offensive people just need to get healthy. The line and Andrew Luck and the line need to be able to protect Andrew Luck. Once they be able to do that, and if they can do that, expect the Colts to be on top of the AFC South only and not the AFC. Other than that, if they don't achieve those two goals, you can forget about them, and they're going to look like how they've been looking the last two seasons.
It's the same thing that I expected from David Carr this upcoming season with the contract extension. I expect the same thing from Andrew Luck. He needs to scrabble out the pocket. He does it, but he hasn't done it efficiently. Because the offensive line is my main concern for expectation. Mm-hmm. I really need them to step up and really protect Andrew Luck because he likes to stay in the pocket. So if Andrew Luck wants to stay in the pocket, they're going to need a better offensive line. Mm-hmm. And, with them being hurt and the miscommunications and stuff like that, they need to build that chemistry. Absolutely. I can understand that. But at this time of the game, and with Andrew Luck not getting any younger, it's time for him to at least start moving out the pocket.
He's going into his sixth year.
Yep, and he's going to need to start getting T.Y. Hilton a little bit more involved too, because he can make plays, and if Andrew Luck can scrabble out the pocket and extend plays, T.Y. Hilton will be there for him.
Will be their man.
But that's what I expect from the Colts.
I agree.
Expectations from the Indianapolis Colts. All right, let's take a look at other headlines from the NBA, NFL, and MLB. First, I'm going to start this one off with the NFL. The league is wrapping up its investigation into Ezekiel Elliott's incidents. Of course, with the previous incidents when he was in college and other incidents while he was in the league, they're wrapping that up, and we'll probably have some discipline here pretty soon, if not. Giants safety Landon Collins says the boys won't win the NFC East. You're talking big there, big boy. You better be careful what you say because you never know what they are capable of. But the boys, that's who they are. Bengals quarterback Adam Jones will be suspended for the 2017 opener for violating the personal conduct. In a report that came out, Anquan Bolton will meet with the Buffalo Bills next week. If they can sign him, that's a big improvement to Sammy Watkins, point blank period. All right, shifting gears to the NBA. Derrick Rose in talks with the Cavs and the Lakers. For the last 3 weeks, he has also been in talks with other teams such as the Clippers and the Bucks. We'll keep you updated on that. Follow us on social media for that type of info too. Report: Pau Gasol and the Spurs resign on a 3-year deal. Pau Gasol resigns with the Spurs on a 3-year deal. The amount is not closed, so he turned down his $16 million option in an attempt to have a longer term with the team. With that, the Spurs had also re-signed Patty Mills and added Rudy Gay from free agency and also Brandon Paul.
Boy, Popovich ain't playing.
No, he ain't. And also Manu Ginobili coming back for another 2 years.
He ain't playing.
Yeah, he ain't playing. He ain't playing.
playing.
All right, the top two in the headlines. John Wall on a 4-year, $170 million extension. He agrees to this as the designated player veteran exception. So with that being said, the designated player exception is more like the Derrick Rose rule, except, with the 3 or 5 rule for, rookies and upcoming prime players. This is a 7 to 9 year experience. They get that, they could get up to 35% of the cap than the normal 30%. So with this $170 million contract extension, that's a big deal for John Wall. So congratulations to him. Lastly, but not least, in the NBA, Uncle Drew, Kyrie Irving requests trade from the Cavaliers. Point blank period. This is exactly what I got to say about this. He is tired of LeBron James.
I'm with it.
He wants to be the vocal point of the team.
And that's why they won the championship.
Exactly. He is the reason why they won the championship. Game 7, LeBron James win MVP. Why he didn't get it? I'm done. I'm gone. I'm with you, Uncle Drew. I'm with you.
I'm with Uncle Drew, too.
I'm with you. And there, MLB, because the Cardinals are at it. Cardinals won Game 1 last night.
What? What a surprise. They won a game.
11-4, pimp. Game 2 is 4-0-5. 4-0-5, bitch.
They won a game. Whoop-dee-doo.
Well, the Cardinals, they're 6-4 in their last 10. The Cubs are 73 in their last 10.
What a surprise. They've been winning more games.
Boy, do I feel hate right now?
Yes.
Them are your headlines from the sports world of NBA, NFL, and MLB. I ain't got nothing to say to you.
Of course not.
All right. Final thoughts? Darren, you got anything for us?
Of course not.
Never do.
Nope.
Never do. Well, I got news for you. I don't either.
What a surprise again. Darrell don't have a final thought.
No, I don't. I really don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, just wrap this baby on up and let's get on out of here.
Yep.
What do you say about that?
Let's do it.
All right. This ends our edition of the NFL Preview Kickoff on Double Take Sports Talk with the Watch Brothers. Thank you for tuning in. Of course, if you like what you see, of course, give the video a thumbs up. How you feel about today's show, of course, you can comment on the comment section below as usual. We're here. Of course, you can reply to social media, so Facebook and Twitter, YouTube, wherever, however, we're here. But until then, I'm Darrell. Darren's on the opposite side.
Yep.
All right. Catch up with us on another episode of Don't Take Sports Talk. Until then, ciao.
Ciao.
Double Take Sports Talk here with me, Darrell Watts. As many of you know, me and Darren enjoy talking sports and giving out stats, but we also enjoy entertaining while doing it. So with that being said, you can check us out on the social media side and get more involved in our podcast. And we're on Twitter at DTST2414, or you like us on Facebook, Double Take Sports Talk page at The Watch Brothers. We're also on YouTube. Like, share, do what you got to do with that. Once again, we don't mind. Also, we are finally back on the podcast app for audio-only purposes for those who enjoy audio only of our podcast. We're also on the blog, feature critical thinking and analysis, and you can check that out at doubleTakeSportsTalk.blogspot.com. Thanks again.
Yeah. Ain't that yeah.
Word. And one. Buckets. No.
Yeah, it should have been.
There you go. There you
I
go.
don't blame him. Cause
Yeah.
that motherfucker, he. Yeah.
Right on. Wrong person. My bad.
Yeah. Wait.
Thought I could get some easy points. Guess that shit didn't work out.
I was trying to get a team there.
You can.
Just what it is. I'm sorry, man. Maybe it's me. You just fuck
Yeah, I am.
every time he gets the ball, he just
See, his energy's going down. Damn. Oh, good. Right on, man. Right on.
Yes, sir.
Get out of the paint.
Damn, they got me a D+. Man.
That was possibly the craziest game